It was a good game, good win for us. It was great being back home in Mackey and playing in front of the home fans. We didn't start the game very fast. New Mexico State was a game team, and we kind of weren't clean on a lot of our adjustments early in the game. But I thought we played through the rough spots of the early part of the game, and in the second quarter we really started to hit on all cylinders, and our execution really picked up. Really proud of Carson and the way he played after throwing an interception early, and then just really settled in and made a lot of big throws. We had a lot of players playing the football game, which was great. Whenever we can play, our backups and our younger players and give them an opportunity to play live snaps and play in front of a crowd and play in Mackey, it's always good. I was really happy with Melquan Stovall's performance. He's had his best game that he's played here at Nevada. Got a lot of touches, a lot of opportunities to get his hands on the ball, and he made the most out of it. Defensively, we did a lot of good things for a lot of the game. At the end, we had some younger players in, and we didn't execute as well in the fourth quarter as we did earlier in the game. And those are areas that we want to continue to press and push with those young players and make sure they understand what we're trying to get accomplished. But played three quarterbacks in the game. Clay Millen got a chance to play, a freshman. Nate Cox played well, really executed. And when those kids get in the game, we want to see them execute our offense. So overall, it was a good performance. We played pretty well in all three phases. Still got a lot of work to do. We want to clean up some coverage things, do a better job of coverage. They threw the ball, I think, 60 plus times in the game, and we'd like to get more turnovers. We'd like to get more interceptions when a team throws that much. The other thing, I thought our pass rush was good. Our pass rush did a good job. So, we were pleased with the victory. Still got a long ways to go. We're here in October, and we're coming up on our sixth game and the halfway point of the regular season, and so it's our conference games are starting to come up now, and really looking forward to playing Hawaii. Really well coached football team. They're coming off a bye this week. They had an excellent team victory against Fresno, and a team that was playing at a high level. They were ranked, and you could really see them really pull together in all three phases, and a lot of respect for their effort and the way that they played in that last game. And it just shows you what they're capable of, and all the teams in our conference. We have a well-coached league. Guys are getting better every week, obviously. And, this is a real game opponent that, we have not beaten the last 2 years. So we need to tie up all our loose ends as a football team and be prepared. They're very multiple on offense. They do a lot of different things running the football. They've thrown the ball well. Played a freshman quarterback this last game, and he played very well. And they played very well collectively around him to help him. They run the football. They do a good job of that. So we're going to have to play a really well-rounded, complete football game on defense. Defensively, they do a really good job. They pressure you. They press man. They play man. They give you some different looks that we've seen some of our games earlier this year. So we've got to do a good job of identifying their people, We got to do a good job of protection. This is a real disruptive defense that will pressure the quarterback, and they're going to challenge you in coverage. And so, very, very good football team, very well coached. Coach Graham's in his second year, and you can really start to see the personality that he's trying to really instill in this program. And so, these conference games, we're going on a stretch run now. Our next 7 games are all conference games. They're all opponents that we know, that we played against. They're all hard-fought games. And so we're really excited and looking forward to this next part of our schedule. It's our 6th game. We break the season into 4 quarters, and this is the end of our second quarter, and so really important that we play well at home, and that we that obviously we're trying to be 1-0 this week. So hopefully we'll get some guys back this week. Romeo, we're hopeful that he can play this week. We're not sure yet. He's a guy that practices hard, and he got a little roughed up in practice last week, little dinged up, but he's getting better, and we're hopeful that he'll be ready for Friday as well. Or Saturday, excuse me. So, love this time of year. It's October football, and we got a little snow on the ground today. So, it's that time of year. It's football time, and we're excited about this next challenge that we have.
Are there any questions for Coach?
What is the nature of Romeo's in?
Yeah, he got kind of tangled up last week. He's fine. He's got a little bit of a lower body deal, but we're hopeful that he'll be okay for this week. He probably could have played last week. We wanted to be smart with him. We got a lot of guys that do a lot of things for us. We play our starters on all our special teams. They get a lot of reps, and we came through a stretch of tough games, and so he should be fine. He's running much better, and we're hopefully he'll be better as the week goes along.
What does it say about your pass catching group that you guys could lose your top 2 wideout back-to-back weeks and still throw for 6 touchdowns and 450 yards?
Well, it's important to have depth, Chris. I mean, we play a physical game, and it's a physical league, and as the season goes on, guys get dinged, you lose guys from time to time. That's just the nature of the game, and I think it says a lot. I was really proud of Torrey Horton. He played well in the game. I was really proud of Justin Lockhart. He played well again for a second week in a row. And then Melcon was, when sometimes we have guys that don't get their hands on the ball a lot, because we do have different playmakers that we rely on and we feed, and so I just knew it was a matter of time before Melquan would get his opportunities. He's been practicing. He's really kind of a dirty work kind of a guy. He blocks on the perimeter. He does all the tough things you ask. He runs down on kickoff. He runs down on punt. And so I was really happy for him that, it's hard to imagine that was his first touchdown, and what a big play it was on a vertical pass. So he's capable of doing those kind of things, and I think as the season goes on, you're going to see him get his hands on the ball more.
Coach, that's 2 straight weeks now of a big defensive play with Jordan Lee against Boise, and then Burdale Robbins, what he did on Saturday. Just how big are those big-time defensive plays, and what they can do for those games they happen, as well as the season in general?
I think that kind of play really can ignite a defense and just show them, what a difference one man can make. I mean, that's an intent play where a guy's he's thinking about stripping the ball. He's thinking about taking the ball away from the offensive player. And I mean, Burdell did that all on his own. I mean, wrapping a guy up, making a tackle, taking the ball away, and then running for a touchdown. It just shows what we're capable of doing, and those are the kind of things that are infectious, and we preach it all the time. We harp on it. We talk about it. But guys got to take ownership of it and really put it into play and look for the opportunity to do it. And Burdell's that kind of guy. You know, he plays really hard for us on teams. And that was a play that he's capable of making. And, you know, I think Jordan doing that a week ago against Boise just showed our other players that, you know, if you're looking for those opportunities, they're there, and take advantage of it and try to do it as much as you can when you have that opportunity. And that was a big time play, big time play. You just don't see it happen very often, and it just shows what we're capable of if we really focus on our technique and try to get it done.
It looked like Brian Ward moved on from the press box down to the field level the last couple games. What was the
Brian? You know, we talked about that, and we're just trying to find ways we can improve our communication and our adjustments on the field. And you know, Brian has been both. He's been in the box. He's been on the field in his tenure, and we just felt it was important. He actually came down the Boise game, and he's just able to communicate with all levels of the defense, you know, the front, the linebackers, the secondary, making adjustments, you know, and then also you get a little bit of a feel for your kids when you're down there. You know, I always liked being on the field, you know, when I was calling it, and I like being on the field now calling it. You can see players, you know, so much of the game is players and personalities and emotion, and is a guy clear-eyed, is a guy glassy-eyed, does he have a faraway look? You know, sometimes you got to reel kids back in, and you know, and sometimes you got to call things to get them in the game and get them really feeling good and aggressive, and I think Brian gets a feel for that being on a sideline, and so we did that 2 weeks ago, and we'll continue it again this week.
You expect to start a quarterback for Hawaii?
You know, it's hard to say. You know, we're ready for both. You know, it hasn't been really defined by them, and I don't expect it to be. But we'll be prepared for both of them, and you know, they're both good players that have shown that they're capable of winning games, and so we have to be prepared for both. And really, we're going to have to do a good job of handling them offensively and what they want their quarterback to do. You know, they're going to use him as a runner at times. You have to account for him in your run fits. And, you know, we're going to have to do a very good job of playing our run fits and also handling their passing game off of it.
Drew Cannon was back in the lineup this weekend. Just what does he bring to your offensive line, and just what have you liked out of that group so far this year? You
know, I think we've played with a lot of continuity up front, and Andrew Cannon is just a really athletic guy. Gives us a lot of athletic ability. You know, Gray's been doing a good job in there as well. But, you know, he just gives us more depth, more athletic ability, explosiveness. You know, and it was really good for him to play, you know, just to play a lot of snaps. He made some mistakes, but he also did a really good job when he was in there. And he's an athletic guard that can get his, you know, body on people, run his feet, and he can pull. So really, really important that he continues to get snaps. He should improve and get better the more that he plays, and we're going to need him as we go down the, you know, through the conference slate.
Coach, air raid systems have done well against Todd Graham in the past. I believe there was a stat where he was bringing like 70% of the time on defense. He was bringing blitzes when he was at Arizona State. Carson mentioned just getting off to a slow start against New Mexico State. How important is it for him to get off to that fast start so maybe the blitzes are less of an issue?
Yeah, Kurt, it's important for us to get off to a good start, you know, every game, and we talk about it. We really want to start fast in the first quarter, and then at halftime, we're able to talk about adjustments, and then we want to start fast in the third quarter. And so we didn't do that as well in this last game. I thought we did the week before really well. But it's important. It's important. Coach Graham's played against every kind of offense, and we do certain things that are our style. And they like to pressure. I mean, he's an aggressive defensive coach that likes to blitz and pressure and get after the quarterback, and they're very disruptive. They're probably one of the most disruptive defense we'll play in our league. So, we're going to have to handle that. We're going to have to do a great job in protection, and we're going to have to do a great job of route running routes, beating man coverage, all those things. And so it's going to be really important. And we got a lot of respect for this team. They're well coached. Their kids play extremely hard. They play together, and so when you obviously play against teams like that, you have to play together. You have to execute well and with your fundamentals and execution, and those are the things that we always work on. So really quality defensive team. We've had a chance to see quite a few of the defenses in our league, and this one's right at the top. The way that they play together, the techniques that they use, the fundamentals that they play with, and the coordination that they play with together. So a lot of respect for Coach. I've seen his defenses from coaching with him and how he coaches, and just the focus and intensity and the detail that he works with. And so it's going to be important that we're prepared to execute and do the things we need to do offensively to handle that.
Coach, Hawaii's visit to Reno was kind of a long night, and I'm wondering where the program is today compared to that night 2 years ago. Just the advancements that you feel, why this game will be different, I suppose you should say.
Yeah, we haven't forgotten that game by any means. That was a very disappointing night, and I just think our leadership is different. I think our commitment is different. And it really comes down to your commitment, Duke. I mean, what do you want to be as a team? And I think as coaches, we got to make sure that our leaders have the pulse of that locker room, and that guys are prepared and ready to go. And as it ended up, that was a very committed Hawaii team. They ended up, playing in the championship game that year. And they showed it that night. And so, we have big goals. We want to continue to win. And, and the challenges are coming every week. This is a program that has had a lot of success. I mean, the last couple of years. I mean, they were in the championship game 2 years ago. They won their bowl game last year. And so we have a lot of respect for the competitive nature of this Hawaii program, and so we got to be prepared for the fight every week, and this week is no different. And we're going to go on a string of conference games now where every week is going to be that way, and so we have total respect for what we're going to play against Saturday night, and I think we're kids. You're fooling yourself if you think you're going to play an opponent and have a great outcome if you don't play well. And I think that's the maturity of our players, that we have to play well Saturday night if we want to win. And we have to do everything Monday through Friday to get ourselves ready for that. And so, that's what we're committed to doing. We pound it and emphasize it every day, and this is a marathon now. I mean, it's a daily preparation. It's a daily focus on paying the rent and getting yourself prepared for Saturday night. So that's the challenge. We've had we've had really competitive games every year that we've played this team. So we expect this one to be no different.
Is it fair to say players are looking at this as kind of a revenge game based on how the last 2 games have gone?
You know, I don't know if I would use revenge. You know, we like to say redemption, and we like to try to learn from, you know, the past and try to make the adjustments so we have the right outcome. I guess that's probably the best way to say it. And but no, I mean, last year's that game stung. You know, 2 years ago that game stung, and you know, and we have to be prepared for the qualities of the opponent that we're playing, and know our opponent, and also understand the things that we have to do to have success. Playing penalty free is so important. Taking care of the football and turnovers is so important in this game. Hawaii did an amazing job against Fresno. Getting the ball back. I think Fresno had 6 turnovers in that game. It's just very difficult. You can't win games if you turn the ball over like that. And so we have to understand that, and we gotta go out and play clean and play hard and play aggressive Nevada football, and that's what's going to put us on the right side of the ledger Saturday night.
I know you just mentioned a couple of things that you want to see, but over in general, as a whole, in this last quarter here, I mean, what do you really need to see out of your guys to feel like you had a successful second quarter?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've gotten better. I really do. I think we've improved as a team. We finished the first quarter with a loss at Kansas State. We were very disappointed at the way that we handled that game competitively, and we felt like we didn't finish the game. We felt like we didn't play well in the fourth quarter when the game was in the balance. And I think we've adjusted. I think we've made some adjustments defensively. I think we've improved collectively. We have a lot of players that that are transfer kids, Isaiah Sesama and Bentley Sanders and Harry Ballard, and we've got a lot of complementary players that need to get better, and we've improved. I think we improved tremendously going up to Boise, and then last week we had a completely different challenge playing at home, and I think we answered that challenge. This week we're going to get a different challenge. This week is a division game, a conference opponent that we play every year. Very, very familiar with their personnel, very familiar with their style of play, and so this is a different challenge. And so we gotta answer the challenge. I believe in the football gods. I believe that if you prepare a certain way, you study a certain way, you'll play a certain way, and that's what we have to get in a routine now. And our team needs to really decide what we want to be. To be honest with you, if we want to be a team that plays at a high level, that answers the call every week, that depends on each other, then these are the games when those questions get answered. And so we're excited about getting into the conference play now and playing our traditional opponents, and this is a big rivalry game that we play every year, and these are the fun games now. I mean, I love playing our division games because these are the opponents that it's going to come down to really who plays the best, who executes, who's physical, who tackles, who blocks, and who takes care of the football. And this is what we work all year for.
You've worked for a lot of head coaches. I guess what was your experience like with Coach Graham the 1 year at Arizona State, and what's kind of unique about working with him? Yeah,
Coach Graham is a ball coach. I mean, he's about the right things. He cares about his kids. He cares about the development of his players. And he's going to coach. He's going to coach the details. He's going to be right in the middle of it, working technique, whether it's a secondary play, blitzes, He's going to be in total control of the personality of his football team, and I think you saw that. I mean, this is a program that's going to reflect that leadership. And, they did an amazing job against Fresno, playing without their starting quarterback, playing with a young freshman, finding a way to win offense, defense, special teams. His team responds to him. And I think that's a quality of an excellent coach. And Coach Graham's done it at a lot of different programs. He did a great job at Tulsa and obviously at Arizona State, and now he's doing it at Hawaii. So, I learned a lot from being with Coach Graham. I was only with him 1 year, but learned an awful lot about practice and how to prepare your team and organization and so he's an excellent coach. He's proven it at different places. And you can see his personality in this Hawaii program.
Did you know Nate Cox punts with his left foot mixed with his right foot?
Yeah, I did know that. Probably everybody else never saw that before, but that was a really good save that he made, and obviously we did not want to see the snap go the way that it did, but I'm really glad Nate was able to. Nate's an athletic guy. He's almost 6'10", and he's the first quarterback I ever had that had to duck when he came in the door, and but he's a real athletic guy. He's done a great job. So much of our offense is reps, and Nate's been in our offense for 2 years now, and he's got a lot of repetitions at our offense, and I was so excited that we could play him last week. Play Nate, and then to play Clay Millen, a young freshman in his first game in college. There's no experience like live game experience, but yeah, he punts left-footed. We're using Nate on field goal block too, and it's pretty daunting to see a 6'10" guy jump up and on field goals. So we're hoping that over the course of the year that makes a difference, that he gets a hand on a ball and gets a tip for us. But he's a real he's a fun guy to have on the roster, and never had a 6'10" quarterback, but he's an amazing athlete and really done a good job for us.
I mean, you got all the reps with the ones during spring stuff.
Yeah.
What have you learned about him just as quarterback? I guess the trade that he's most involved with, just seeing him play a little bit more in Idaho State in this weekend.
Yeah, I tell you, he's really improved in his fundamentals and his mechanics. I just, sometimes when you're that tall, it's hard to get your feet underneath you, and it's hard to get in a good platform and a throwing motion. And Nate's really improved tremendously that way. Really understands all our concepts. He's got a ton of reps. Carson didn't participate this spring, and so Nate he got a chance to do that. He's a much better athlete than people realize, and he ran the ball quite a bit in junior college. So he's a special athlete, big athletic guy with a big arm, and I just think he's really kind of settled in and understands the checks, understands protections. And he's becoming a very good college quarterback. And so, we got confidence in Nate, that if he had to come in and play, he could run the offense and just continue to allow us to do the things we've been doing.
How have you seen Torrey Horton grow as a player and just as a person from his freshman year till now?
Torrey, I brag on him all the time. He's one of my favorite players. I've coached and worked with receivers a lot over the years, and he just is so businesslike. For a young player, he's so mature, very, very intelligent, understands defenses, understands route concepts. We can play him at every position. And he's another kid. He's a tall, long, rangy wideout who's got a quick step. And and he's such a long strider. He can really eat up a lot of grass and get down the field. Carson loves throwing the ball to him down the field because he has such a big radius on him, and we love tall receivers, and but Torrey comes from an athletic family, and he grew up around it. His brother played corner at Boise, and so he takes advantage of every opportunity that he gets, and I'm excited just to see him play more. I think he's going to be a really good football player for us the more he gets to play.